So we're seeing a lot of major shifts in industries and how they operate, and particularly because AI is becoming a big part of that change. And I'm sure that's also happening in the not-for-profit space. So I think it'd be good to talk about maybe some of the big picture shifts we're seeing. And the first one that I think is quite interesting is the fact that I think AI is a really important force multiplier in not-for-profits. Historically, it's a very under-resourced teams. They're people that are really passionate about the mission. It's really important work, but they're really capped by the capacity. So the fact that all the grunt work, the admin, the reporting, and especially I think grant writing, which is a really key activity, I think that can all be done and automated, and really shifts what it means for not-for-profits, I think, with AI.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And what do you think is seeing the main things that you're seeing though in the use of AI? Is that are they applying it, or is it something that they need support with, or?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. AI use in not-for-profits and social enterprises, it's accelerating as it is across all industries.
Yeah.
Probably a lot faster than some people realize. The not-for-profit sector can, in some spaces, have a older workforce.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, but people are using it all over the place. And because it's not, I guess, regulated, or organizations are slower to adopt things or systematize things than individuals are. So while usage is widespread, capability and governance isn't necessarily. So, a lot of organizations wouldn't have governance around AI use. They wouldn't necessarily have governance around data use sometimes, which is an important part of AI. They won't necessarily have training for staff or that kind of internal capability. So it's very patchwork across the sector.
So there's a big opportunity there, basically. It's a big gap.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fantastic. I think another thing too which is also changing, and I think it's happening across all industries too, is the fact that some of the operating models are changing for industries. And what we're seeing is, in some industries, the actual pickup of that is much faster, and some are slower. But what I find very interesting about not-for-profits is the fact that some are changing, and it's allowing them to scale differently. Like the actual operating model is shifting because of what they can actually do with AI. And, could we go as far as to say, wow, some of them becoming like software companies in how they're scaling, maybe? Are you seeing that? Yeah.
I think there's definitely the potential there. It's not just the internal operations that AI is supporting. So yes, you can support with operations, but organizations are also using it for service delivery. They're using it to report or create impact reports and things like that. They're using it generally to support, as a support mechanism for various different functions they have. So interestingly, things like chatbots, or that kind of chat-like function.
Assistants and chatbots,
of AI is really interesting, particularly in the service space. So there are chat AIs that can support people with situations that they're going through. For example, we've seen it in health spaces, particularly in culturally and linguistically diverse communities, where you might have people who, from a different language background, and so they can navigate health systems and service systems using AI as kind of a chat friend. So, and also can help with domestic violence survivors, or people who are unsure about a situation they're going through. Those kind of chat-like mechanisms can really just be a back and forth to support people to access services, get a very surface level of advice. Organizations might use it for tutoring as well, to help students and things like that. So there's definitely that interactive aspect of AI can definitely take a bit of a load off some organizations, but only really at a surface level. There's always going to be those more complex cases which need people.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the first use cases of AI was this conversational assistance. And what we found in some industries is, if you take, for example, debt, chat bots or chat assistants are excellent in that industry. And it's a bit of an example that you gave with maybe domestic violence and so forth. It's because, one, it's very private. You can do it without anyone knowing you're doing it, so you can get that help. And you also don't, you're not talking to someone, an actual person, so you don't feel judged, and it's not embarrassing too. So I think they've been really interesting things we've found, basically, that have been very helpful. And it's also it feels very human. I mean, obviously it's not human, but it feels very human.
Yeah, there's an element of how AI is replacing or supplementing those chat forums. People go on, you might be part of a social group of mothers or newly arrived migrants or refugees in a chat group. And so I think for some people, those relational groups online are essential.
Yes.
Some people don't necessarily have access to those, and so these kind of more relational chat functions are really great for those people.
So what we're seeing then maybe is it's new, but we're not just using AI for operations, which I think is still a huge advantage, but we're thinking about new ways of delivering, which is really key to the mission of the not-for-profit, which I think is quite exciting. And I'm sure it'll keep going, but it's a new way of looking at how they get to what they are actually there for, to the customers that they have, the users they have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's those search-like tools like ChatGPT or Claude or Microsoft Copilot, all which operate on that kind of back and forth discussion, pooling research from different information from different places. You've got Grantable and software that can help write grants or impact reports. And then you've got existing software which is adapting AI tools, things like Canva or Microsoft PowerPoint, those things where you might have had to design something and now they will give suggestions based on AI to help you do things that you might have needed a contractor to do before.
And actually, I really like how you brought those tools up, actually, because they're really accessible to everybody. And I think, in the not-for-profit space, we're not talking about just the large the not-for-profits. We're also like the smaller, I think you call them kitchen table communities. Yeah. So I think what's interesting there is that the ability to have these very powerful tools that help admin for any size means that it's in your pocket, right? AI is in our pockets. It's low cost compared to a lot of platforms. And I think now almost it's like the big shift is that you can scale. Someone sitting at the kitchen table can perform the work of maybe 2 other people, right? So one, scaling without a huge headcount involved in that is a big cost and the ability to do more. And also the fact, I think that before you might need to do specialists, mentioned Canva, you don't need that. And if you're starting out or something, or you don't have a budget, you can create something that's meaningful using Canva without having to find someone and pay for them, where the money could be used within the mission itself.
Definitely. And once you have some money to do those things, then you can get a professional to use Canva, and then it just even moves forward. So.
Yeah, because they're crazy at it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So I think we wrap it up in terms of sort of the big picture right now. It's like the access to capability to multiply you is there. It's never been as prevalent and as easy to get as before. It's really changing how not-for-profits can scale. And it's also, I think, perhaps relieving the pressure of all that admin work and letting people really focus on what matters, right? The mission.
Absolutely.
That's great. So let's talk about what that means day to day for people working in the space.
Yep.
Thank you.